Today I want to talk about the scary reality of overconsumption and how normalized it is living paycheck to paycheck. So I got reminded of this the other day. I was speaking to my best friend and she just started this new job and her boss was talking to her about this situation that happened with a bank holiday. And there was a bank holiday, so sometimes there is bank holidays and it means your pay is 1 day late. And basically on this day, her boss had to delay pay by 1 day. She was getting messages by 2 different businesses, about 50% of the staff saying that they had bills coming out on that day and they needed to pay the bills. They were living week to week, they were relying on this paycheck to pay basic expenses, to pay food. So I just want to talk about how normalized it is that people just speak about, having to wait to next week to afford something simple. So I also regularly overheard this at my old job. People would be like, I can't go out to this restaurant this week because I need to wait until Wednesday because Tuesday is payday. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, how are you going to a restaurant or justifying going to a restaurant when you are literally waiting for your paycheck? Like, this is in Australia at the time, and obviously it's going to be cheaper to cook food at home, obviously, than a restaurant. Maybe you can go to McDonald's and get something for $5 or $6 and it's cheaper, but they were talking about going into a full-on restaurant and not being able to do that because they had to wait for their paycheck, which honestly I just find crazy. And you overhear it so much, and I do remember overhearing it so much at work. I'm sure that you guys have a similar experience, or maybe you have even experienced this, right? But I've been fortunate enough to be working. I didn't go to university, so I didn't incur much debt, and I was working while living at home. And I've always had good saving habits, so I've always had at least that emergency fund safety net. Look, you can go to any video on YouTube and find, these basic financial saving tips. And I wanted to try and think about some today that were a bit more in depth and maybe something that you wouldn't have thought of, and a bit more exciting way to prevent being in this situation where you don't have, enough money for an emergency dental expense, or your car breaks down and you just have to somehow deal with it because you don't have that emergency fund in your bank account. So the first one is reverse engineering your lifestyle. So basically what this means is you design your ideal lifestyle and you plan that out. And then you basically go back to how you're currently living and you make conscious decisions now to get you to that point. So I'll use an example, right? Like, I've known for a while that I want freedom. Freedom is the number one most important thing for me. And to have freedom, it means that I cannot have a lot of stuff. I cannot just go out and spend all my paycheck every month and not save any money, because I need money for freedom and money to start something. So for example, I lived in my apartment. I lived there for a whole year, and throughout that whole year, I didn't really buy anything. It was furnished. I bought super basic stuff. I bought a desk, I bought like a monitor, and I bought a stand and some basic stuff that you need. Everything I proceeded to sell for not much of a loss on Facebook Marketplace. So at the end of the day, all my minimalist things, maybe 10 things, I got rid of, and I packed up my clothes, my entire life, into a suitcase, and I came to Thailand. The only issue was when I moved to Australia initially, I thought that I was going to stay there. So I took out a car lease, and that was a mistake. It wasn't a huge mistake, but I did have to end up selling my, near enough new car for a loss. And it wasn't a huge loss, but it was definitely something I could have avoided. And I knew that I should have made a better financial habit on this. But the thing is, I moved to Australia and I wanted to have that Australian life. And I didn't realize I would notice so fast that the 9 to 5 wasn't for me. And I wanted to create more freedom for myself by coming to Bangkok and working on my own goals full time. So the second one is negotiate everything, not just your salary, but everything that you pay for on a regular basis. So make sure that you have the best deals with electric, best deals with internet, best deals on your rent. Maybe the rent market is getting better in where you are and you can get a reduce on your rent. Or your internet bill, did you just sign up with the first person who reached out to you? Could you be saving like $40 a month on your internet? Probably. Is your electric company the best for the usage that you're getting with your electric? Stuff like that. Basically, call up these companies, ask them if they, say you're going to leave, or ask them if they have any deals, and make sure all of these things are minimum, especially subscriptions. Now, the subscription system works. It's like you can just cancel your subscription on the website and it will offer you 3 months of stuff. Like, I've done this with all my subscriptions. Not every company has it. But now when you go to cancel, it's like, stay with us for 2 months for free. And then you're like, okay. And then you just set a reminder and you just cancel it after 2 months, and you can continue using the thing you would have been paying $20-something a month for free. These little things add up. It adds up to hundreds or thousands of dollars per year. And somewhere like Thailand, I realized the other day, I could have been paying $80 for some subscription every month that I wasn't really using, or I could get around it in a cheaper way. And that's like an entire extra month of living in Thailand, which is kind of insane. Third one is create multiple income streams. So this isn't just telling you to get a side hustle, but do you have valuable skills that you could be using to start your own thing and start learning something that could potentially become your main job? If you don't have any skills, then instead of going home and turning the TV on and binge watching Squid Game season 4 or whatever, go and learn a skill. Come home, do your fitness, and then go and learn something. Find out what you're interested in. Use AI to throw ideas back and forth. Find out what you're interested in and then learn that skill. And at least after work every day, you're learning something you're interested in, and that potentially could become a source of revenue. It's investing in yourself. It's basically making sure you're not going to be in like a cycle of paycheck to paycheck or not having an emergency fund for a long time, a lot of years. That is something that's really important. So another one, automate your wealth building system. Like you shouldn't be thinking, oh, I can't go to this restaurant next week because I haven't got my paycheck. It's like you should be thinking, oh, nice, my automated investment is going to come out of my account next week. So what I mean by that is pay yourself first. It's an obvious one, right? And this is kind of an obvious one, but you need to set up automatic payments to at least be saving minimum like 10-15% of your income. Cut back expenses to that point where you can put $500 or $100 a month, for example, into an investment account, into a savings account with an interest rate. Pay yourself first. Don't touch that account. That's how you can start building this. Don't think, oh, like I got a bonus this week or I did overtime this week that allows me to spend more. You can't do that. Like if you do that, you're just going to be stuck in the same situation. And I just really believe that you gotta start with the basics. Like even though some of the stuff I'm talking about is a bit more than the basics, like you do have to start with the basics. This is one of them. Like everyone should be prioritizing money in the savings account that doesn't get touched. This isn't a savings account where you save up and buy a new laptop. This is a savings account where you save and you're saving for this person that you want to be in the future, those sort of expenses. So like if you want freedom, my example, then that's saving up to move somewhere, to lock in for 6 months, for example. So another one which can get you in a really good position, like this is honestly one of the best ones I think, and it's lifestyle inflation resistance. So when you get that bonus, when you get that raise, when you get that new job, don't change anything. Change maybe small things that can elevate your life for a low cost, but don't be like, okay, now I'm getting paid like double, so I'm going to move into a place that costs double. I'm going to upgrade everything. Don't do that. Just continue living the same way, because with proper mindset, you can be completely happy living on half of like the same wage you are today. Like you can be happy living on the wage you are today with mindset shifts on how you enjoy things and how you, all of this stuff, which I'll get into in another video. But don't upgrade. Don't go upgrade when you get that extra money, when you get that gift card, when you get anything from these external sources, these extra bits of money. Just put it straight into this fund that is going to be funding this life that you want. You have to remember, you have to plan this life that you want so you can have a goal and have a reason for saving, not just, I want this new car, I want this new laptop. Think bigger than that. Think, what are you actually saving for? This big goal, and then put it to the account to that so it actually has a meaning. And yeah, just don't upgrade your lifestyle. So yeah, these are the things that I wanted to discuss. I wanted to do like a little bit of a story as well in this video, and also the background is back. I'm using my old setup, so hopefully it looks a bit better and a bit more natural. And yeah, if you have any comments about this, any questions, then just leave them down below. And also I'm open to having chats with you guys. Like if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, or you just drop a YouTube comment and we can have a chat, discuss what your goals are, discuss like what you're trying to achieve, or even just have a chat. Like I'm always open to that, and I'm really interested to get to know you guys. So yeah, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.